then, the sky was full of stars, like the eyes of benevolent wolves, crying a song of love. Each man was connected with nature. Each flower and animal had a soul, and there were spirits in the waters, ritual dances and drums and ecstatic cures. Back then, the earth turned sweetly. There were herds of reindeer and flocks of geese, black and fat, and we celebrated the fallen snow and the triumph of bread. And you were the Prince of Anarchy, who walked from winter kingdom to winter kingdom. Now stars form new frightening constellations. The earth turns in strange directions, and it turns the way our stomach turns when we eat the rotten meat of long forbidden game. Once the wild herds migrated this way and left hard footprints in the icy earth. Now their migratory routes have shifted, and the forest is burning and strange, and the wolf's head is emerging, and the fountains of gas bubbling. And the tugs of mammoths vomiting from the sour stomach of the melting frost, the permafrost melting away, and strange insects and plants never seen emerging, and the marsh bogs that were once frozen, once protected, now comes a kind of mosquito, fat and lusty for blood. Back then, I watched you lie upon the gold earth, looking up at all those stars. You were the Prince of Anarchy, and there were tears in your eyes. They were frozen like bits of diamonds, and you plucked them one by one and laid them in my hand. I made a necklace of them. Look, I have it. A necklace of ice that will never melt, even as the Arctic wind becomes warm and the glaciers and the bright peaks melt away. You were the Prince of Anarchy, and now anarchy rules, but not in the way that was anticipated. It rules at the chaotic redesigning of nature, not a conscious design, but a brutal unleashing. Something I think you saw. Something I think you knew. I couldn't see it. I couldn't see it until I saw it through your eyes. You saw all of these things. You saw the great glaciers melting, and you died of pneumonia. Pneumonia. You who loved the cold, who loved the ice. Perhaps you did not wear the scarf that I wove for you to throat from the elements, and you died of pneumonia, and the breath that was cold and white is gone. The shadows moved across the sun, and you cried out, "What will happen? What will happen? What will happen to the chimes of Roland and the tiny bells tied about the necks of lost sheep? What of truth and the golden harp and the marble body of Christ? What will happen?" You were drenched in sweat, winter sweat, feverish, sinking several inches into an unprecedented impermanence, and the Siberian frost was melting, and seeping a colorless blood into your heavy boots. Back then, you were the Prince of Anarchy. Sickness. I cough as you coughed. You were the Prince of Anarchy, and the stars rained. You raised your arms, and the gases of hidden miseries rose and burst inside of you, producing a sudden and terrible transparency that you were unable to contain. Nothingness, once reserved for the gods. Vaporous expanse of love. Nothingness, once reserved for the gods, the vaporous expanse of love. And I, left here alone, with your eyes, even your cough. Back then, the night was filled with stars. I knew you then. I loved you. I loved you. And now, alone, I ask the wolves who sing their cry of love. Do animals make a human cry when their loved one staggers, fouled, and is dragged down the blue-veined river? Does the female wail, miming the wolf that's suffering? Do animals cry like humans, as I, having lost you, yelled, flopped, curled in a ball? This is how we beat the icy field.